On a cold, blustery January Monday, we welcome you back to the program. We've already talked to Nick Kelly from AL.com, get his thoughts on Charles Bediaco's performance for the Alabama Crimson Tide basketball team, but it was not enough as they lose to Tennessee over the weekend. Also, Alabama fires its offensive line coach. A lot of talk in regards to what direction the Tide may go in there. We also discussed Dabo Swinney's interesting comments, went scorched earth on Pete Golding and the Ole Miss Rebels for tampering with a player that had a cup of coffee there at Clemson before he got back in the transfer portal and went elsewhere. We will go to North Carolina in just a little bit. Scott Hamilton, good friend of the program, a columnist, also a radio talk show host there in the Carolinas. He will join us to give us his thoughts on Dabo and also Darian Mensah and what's going on with him.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. The text line is open, 205-834-9450. That's the best way to interact with us on a daily basis. A lot of your texts coming in on this Reaction Monday, some of them centering around Charles Bediaco and Alabama basketball. And that's where we will start. This one reads from Paul in North Carolina. Losing at home to Tennessee is not ideal, but they were missing their second and third best players. Bigger issue is constant injuries to this team. Had 5 scholarship players listed out for Saturday. No amount of talent can compensate for not having your best lineup available. Thank you, Paul. This one reads Auburn basketball is actually tied for first place without a BS call against Texas A&M. Mark text, Charles Bediaco is a waste. 25 minutes, only 3 rebounds. Team chemistry hurt. Stay tuned. Jimmy Ramia says Dabo the wino. The whiner? He's definitely not a wino. All right, Pat, somebody contending what either the Ole Miss or the Clemson side of this Ferrelli thing is you were wrong. Luke was under NIL contract with Clemson. Ole Miss had to buy out his NIL contract. Listen to the whole interview with Dabo. He tells you there's a current contract with a player.
Again, there's 2 sides to every story. The Ole Miss side of it, that they didn't have one.
Robert, Alabama basketball needs to get completely healthy. Sure, Bediaco helps. This team needs to get Bristow, Allen, and Holloway back this week. Needs more proven three-point shooters on the floor. That has been a constant with Nate Oates' team. They shoot it well. Typically, they win from the outside. Posey says Dabo picking on the new guy. Another one reads, Dabo is 100% correct. And Sam just adding, he wants to know how good Alabama basketball can be with a completely healthy roster.
We may never know. We may never see it this year.
Might not. Keep the text rolling in, 205-834-9450.
All right, so you have Dabo, pitching his fit on Friday. And so then I saw this come across over the weekend. And the debate whether you should consider players in college football employees or not, right? So tell me how this is going to work out. So Deion Sanders has announced that he's implemented a new system in which he is going to start fining the players. You're fining college students. If you're late to practice, you're going to be docked $500.
Love it.
You don't come to practice at all, it's $2,500.
Whoa.
If you're late to a meeting or film session, $400. No show at a meeting or film session, $2,000. Late to strength and conditioning, $1,000. No show strength and conditioning, $1,500. If you're late for a medical treatment, $1,000. And if you just don't show up to the treatment that has been prescribed, that's $1,500. In addition, Colorado players could be fined up to $2,500 for a violation of team rules and could be fined up to $5,000 for public and social media misconduct.
I look on face level, I think that this is great. I don't know if other programs have tried to
How
implement
can
these
you
things.
find players that are not employees?
But my point being, number one, I don't know how you do that. Are you going to? You're going to draw it out of their direct deposit? They have to sign an agreement, and is that even legally binding? If they sign some kind of contract that Deion draws up, I love the idea. I just don't know how realistic it is, and maybe that's been a problem there. I don't know. I saw Josh Niblett's video and his talk to the team.
Mm-hmm. Him in his cowboy hat.
Mm-hmm. It was inspirational.
Was he wearing capris?
I don't know.
Like we did when he coached at Hoover?
I don't know. I don't know if he went with the shorter pants.
Him and McDaniel share a wardrobe, I guess.
No, Niblett was before McDaniel.
He was the trailblazer.
Niblett would have wardrobe changes, like in warm-ups, and then he'd go change into orange capris or something and come back out.
Well, look good, coach good, right?
That's what they say.
He did.
That's what the kids say.
He did.
Yeah.
You win games, you can dress any way you want to.
That's true.
And he won.
Ask Kalen DeBoer.
Took a shirt off at a pep rally.
So
Not Kalen DeBoer.
No.
So I understand that he's sitting there, putting these rules out because he's got 41 new transfers. 41 on this roster. So I mean,
it's a light year for him.
I mean, you've got to establish yourself, right? They lost 34 players in the portal, and they got 41 players out of the portal.
Did they retire any jerseys this offseason?
Does he have another son that's playing? Probably
I
not.
don't think so.
Yeah. During this meeting, Coach Prime said, I'm supposed to have 100-something men, but not everyone's a man right now. But through this process, and that's what I love, the process, I'm really not in love with the results. I'm in love with the process. I like the struggle. I like the journey. We're in the process right now, end of quote.
Last year was definitely a struggle.
I think every year but one has been a struggle.
Hopefully they can get it back. Jordan Seaton is now an LSU Tiger.
See, I'm just with Pat on this in the sense of, first off, I think it's a good idea to hold the kids accountable. But the first time somebody gets fined, can they not? It seems like this would be a difficult thing to enforce. My other question would be, you got some kids on that roster. I mean, I guess everybody's maybe making a little bit, but can you find Mr. Walk-On 25? I mean, you maybe just kick them off the team, but I'm like, are there guys that can even afford that? Right? Not every player's making $200,000 on Colorado's roster.
And to be fair, Deion might know. He might have been told, there's no way we can enforce this, but just to put it out there.
It makes them think that it can be enforced.
Maybe.
I mean, you went 3-9 last year. And when you make statements like, I'm really not in love with the results, administration might have a problem with that.
Well, they were your results based on the team that you put together and the coaching staff that you
Now, the year before you won 9 games, but you went 3-9 last year, and you kick off the season against Georgia Tech. It's a good way to start.
Does feel like a lot of that buzz in Boulder has been lost.
Very much so. So, to me, when I read that, I mean, you've got the NCAA and others. They're spending millions of dollars to try to avoid college athletes being, air quotes, employees,
Right.
including lobbying Congress. They want a federal law that prohibits college athletes from becoming employees. But schools continue to demonstrate that we want to pass rules inside our own building that would dictate that they're employees. It's the whole vicious cycle of contradiction is just ridiculous.
It is.
Now, what happens if, because I think we all agree, you don't have a full roster that everybody on that team is getting a nice NIL paycheck? And if you don't show up, now, first of all, I have no idea why somebody just would not show up to practice.
Well, my question is,
$2,500.
was this has this been a problem in the past with some of your more elite guys that are getting the bigger NIL deals?
To me, it's signaling that it probably was a problem.
Because the guy that's making $3,000 or whatever the lowest is at Colorado per month with a revenue share, something tells me that he's really appreciative to be given the opportunity to play Power 4 football. But
I would just say
that's just me. I would be.
Based on some of the things I read around the situation, I would not be surprised if an offensive lineman that is now at LSU is maybe the reason that some of these things are being enforced.
Could see that. High-profile guy and bigger than the team.
Make a lot of money, not doing the little things right.
And figuratively.
Yep.
Hey, where's Seaton? He's just not at practice today. Is he hurt? No, he's in his dorm playing video games.
You want your quarterback to live? You're not benching me. Right?
Hey, let's go ask the quarterback. You want me to play? That's what I thought. I'm going to suit up then.
Yeah.
And then everybody thinks if that was the attitude there, that it's going to be straightened out once he gets to Baton Rouge.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, that's exactly what he needed for that attitude.
Yes.
That attitude change. Let's give him more money. Let's surround him with prettier girls and more things that he can do that are not football related.
To be fair, it did seem to help the McLean kid that went from there to Florida, the 5-star cornerback. It seems like that maybe helped him out a little bit. But
You would cite the one time that it actually worked.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. It worked one time, and it didn't work a lot of other times with kids.
So you think the 40 some odd mercenaries that Lane Kiffin's got in, that is going to be a smooth sailing ship through the waters of the SEC?
No, I do not.
No, we begged you a
No,
lot.
I
We
do not.
overpaid you to get here. But by the way, here's our rules that you're going to have to follow.
Does Lane have rules?
Are there days where he doesn't show up?
Probably.
Like, where is Lane? Nobody knows. I hadn't seen him since hot yoga this morning.
Was he pimping some hats over the weekend, make Baton Rouge great again? Did you see that?
Are you serious?
Please
I did
don't.
not see that.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, go look at his timeline. It's something about
Remember?
making Baton Rouge great or something like that.
But there's nothing catchy about that acronym.
That was Lane. Everything he touches is gold.
Make
Everything
Baton Rouge great again. Remember, Gaja?
Oh, I did see where he was, I guess, on a recruiting visit or something at the same time that Alabama was, and he
posted
a picture of the Alabama jet.
Yeah, he waved at him.
Waving at him, yeah.
Yep.
That poor
Oh,
LSU
Lane.
basketball coach. He's just like, you've already changed my key? You've already changed my key? I'll get out of here by season's end. Don't worry.
Again, to me, it's just the most laughable thing is like you have the governor stand up in front of everybody in the world and talk about how poor they are and how that, things have got to change. We can't keep doing this. And then not only do you give Lane Kiffin a ridiculous contract, then you give all of his staff a ridiculous contract. Then you're flying him all over the country in a private jet to try to get players. You're overspending. You're offering Ole Miss players on their roster $2 million just to go in the portal. Just to go in the portal.
See, that's the number we really need is how much did they spend on their roster and then factor in
He's got
jet fuel,
it
amenities,
has
all
got
that
to
stuff.
be a ton.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to find out it's all said and done to put everything in place, $50 million.
You think the governor his eyes have just been open to what's going on in college athletics? Where he actually thought? Yeah, the skeptic in you is saying no.
No.
I don't know, though. Something tells me about this Landry guy that maybe he just didn't understand
He
where
better
some
win.
of this money was coming from.
He better win, and he better be in the college football
Well, it's coming
playoff.
from taxpayers, remember,
That's what he told
Landry?
us.
He thought it was on the
which-
taxpayers' dime that they were paying for the coach.
I mean, they not only are they going all in, I mean, they're going all in and then well past what they can probably
Are all
afford.
these cats, are they ready for what the scrutiny and the pressure that's going to be on them? It's going to be different than Tempe.
Better be in the playoff this year.
Yes. And if we hadn't already gone down that road at SEC Media Days, where everybody,
Yeah, if we didn't do this last year.
everybody was just going on, oh, well, they brought in the 20 best transfers. These guys are mercenaries, man. LSU's going to be.
To be fair, going to Atlanta, we were riding over there. LSU was not one of my top 3 teams, top 4 teams. we were blown away. And it wasn't just LSU folks. Wasn't it? The
Oh, no,
sentiment
it
that
was-
started growing, and it was just like, Connor, you remember the wave of momentum that, and there's typically one team every single year in all the SEC media days that I've been to that will pick up that kind of steam at media days. And then all of a sudden that's the narrative heading into the season. That was what it was with LSU.
Well, it was also LSU, what, 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
It's been LSU a few times.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
2 of the last 3 years, it's
We-
been LSU, and they've
Now we've had Texas A&M in a weird year.
Yeah.
We bought into them.
and of course the year we don't buy into
And then
them
we
is the
sold
year
them all
that-
forever, and that's what happened this year.
Yep.
But yeah, it was, look at all these mercenaries.
It was the 20 mercenaries that they brought in, and Garrett Nussmeier was going to be in New York at the Heisman Trophy.
Well, it was
ceremony.
Brian Kelly has figured out the transfer portal. He has realized his mistakes from the last 2 portal cycles. Because you remember the comments what he made about it was the defensive tackle position.
Yeah.
But he's caught on. He's learned the landscape, got it figured out. Wait until you see these guys. And on paper, it was really impressive, the haul.
It'll
And how
be-
much they paid was even more impressive.
Yeah, no, I mean it'll be the same narrative as 2 years ago in Oxford,
But 7-5.
and they didn't make the playoff that year. It'll be the how do you not make the playoff with this team, which we saw 2 years ago with Jackson Dart, and they
They're
barely, but they missed
Can
it.
you imagine the pressure right now that's on Lane Kiffin to beat Ole Miss?
Once again, what if like when you lose a game in Oxford, like there's a lot of built-in excuses that he could have used.
Not anymore.
He can't anymore.
Mm-mm.
He's got the largest payroll. He's got everything in the world at his disposal.
The toughest place to play at night in college football.
It's the best job in America, according to Nick Saban.
Yes.
You have everything.
Mm-hmm.
You have the blessing of the Pope of college football, Nick Saban.
See, I just wonder, like, when he's, do you think like Lane lays in bed at night and like toils over this, or does he even think about it?
Didn't know what you're going
To think about what?
Like just all the pressure of everything.
No,
I feel like he
no.
doesn't even like
No.
that doesn't even register in his mind.
There is no pressure.
He's just Lane.
He is living his full life. He is on top of the mountain.
You think when he is having one of those moments, those rare moments when he's just about to shut his eyes, he's like, "Oh gosh, I got to beat Ole Miss. I got to beat 'em." And then do you think he's like, "Wait a minute, they got to pay me regardless"?
Lose to Clemson at home. See how that works out for him. I mean, we're in a market where, you know, the patience for Kalen DeBoer is starting to wane. As much has been put down on paper and as much as they're paying kids and that staff, and they're not successful in Baton Rouge after year one. Yeah. But yeah, get ready. Tampa will be all about. It'll be 2 storylines. This I'm already predicting it in January, and I can spray paint it on the wall in the office. Texas and LSU. Those are your 2 big stories.
How much pressure is on Sark?
A ton.
I would say a ton.
Yeah.
A ton.
Because this feels like, while they're not talking about a whole lot out there, this feels like this was push all the chips in the middle of the table. If we can't win with what we just bought and what we have coming back, we're not going to be able to do it.
Yep.
I mean,
I
there
agree.
was an article this morning by John Adams in the Knoxville News Sentinel, and he put together his all SEC team from offense and defense based on transfer portal gets. Okay. And I'm sitting here looking down a list. Both running back positions, Texas, because they got Hollywood Smothers, Raleek Brown. Wide receiver, Cam Coleman. Ian Greffriend, defensive lineman, Texas got. Raheem Biles, linebacker, Texas got. I mean, this whole so-called offseason all SEC team is littered with Texas guys out of the portal. So yeah, they've gone all in just like LSU has.
Their 26 schedule, Pat. Texas State, Ohio State, UTSA. That's their non-con. And then Tennessee, Oklahoma at home, Florida at home, Ole Miss at home, Mississippi State at home, at Missouri, at LSU, Arkansas at home, at A&M. Right now, as it looks, that would be, I guess you could argue, at LSU. Is that going to be potentially the only game that they're not favored in? Well, Ohio State maybe. So, yeah, no excuses, right?
No, and especially once he has the problem too. He's made the playoff twice. Now you missed the playoff. Now you missed it. It's almost like the Josh Heupel thing. Well, he took Tennessee back to the playoff. They should love him. Yeah, but they want more. Their expectation at Texas isn't to make the playoff. It's to win a national championship. And if you can't do that, they're going to find someone that can. Just like if Josh Heupel can't do that in Tennessee, they're going to find somebody that they think can do that.
Yeah, and if Alabama goes 7-5, like some people are predicting, Kalen DeBoer might be in that bread line, just like everybody else.
I feel like if Alabama goes 7-5, we're talking about a new coach.
Yeah,
this time next year.
All right, coming up at the bottom of the hour, we'll go to the Carolinas, find out more about Dabo's rant on Friday, what's going on with Darian Mensah, all that straight ahead on Jocks. It is 11:25 here on Jocks Reaction Monday. Remember, we told you about a week ago, the Big 12, they have decided they're going to play their championship game on a Friday night. Well, this morning, the ACC has decided they're going to move their football championship game. They will now play before the SEC championship game on Saturday morning. So they are taking now the spot that was previously held by the Big 12. So we will have a championship game prior to the SEC championship game on a Saturday afternoon, first weekend in December. It will be now the ACC. So I guess they've had enough of playing really cold, miserable-looking games in Charlotte, North Carolina at 7:30 at night.
Right?
I mean,
hey, ACC fans, you should like this.
I mean,
You get this one out of the way, and you get to watch really good, meaningful football the rest of the day.
yeah, and maybe the sun will be out.
I say
know.
good. It wasn't all good this year.
I mean, because the Big 12's playing in a dome and SEC's playing in a dome.
I think the ACC prides themselves in playing in the elements, Pat.
Yeah, even the Big Ten. Now, you'd think the Big Ten would love to play in the elements, but they're playing in a dome. So the ACC is the only one that doesn't have a dome to play in.
Well, you know why they have to? It's because they have all those SEC transfers.
True.
They're not built for the cold.
See, I think the ACC would love to play it in Atlanta, but they're not going to because the SEC's already there.
It would make a lot of sense if
Yeah.
we didn't exist.
Would the ACC, would Nashville be open once that new stadium gets built?
I don't really consider Nashville an ACC town.
What about
but
Jacksonville? That thing's going to be ready in what, 28, 29?
28, I think.
Maybe you could play it there. I'm just finding a way to move it out of Carolina. I don't know why.
Be nice.
They
Move it
love-
around every year.
They love Charlotte because the ACC headquarters is in downtown Charlotte, so makes for championships.
Easy setup,
Mhm.
easy tear down.
Yep.
Sleep in your own bed.
So
I
we'll
bet
have
some of
SEC
those-
championships at Protective in the near future, is what you're saying?
No, they do baseball.
Just baseball. Yeah.
They throw us a bone with baseball.
Baseball.
That's right.
Or the women's tournament.
Mhm.
Yeah. Very true.
So they do baseball and then they head to Destin. Half the SEC staff's already in Destin by the time baseball's wrapping up on that weekend.
I hear that's a fun trip.
Destin?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Loved it. It was great. Now it's all corporate. You get nothing out of it.
See, that's why we need to do our own version from Griffith's place. Just up the beach a couple
Yeah.
hours.
Sure. Maybe we can get some coaches to come on
Come
over.
swing on by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not near as crowded down here. Come on. We're at Griffith's place.
You get them to really open up then.
Yeah.
Couple drinks, go hang out, play some cornhole on the deck. And
Yeah, we'll have to ask Griffin tomorrow if it's open that weekend. Sure it won't be because it's Memorial Day week.
I do miss the stories that we used to hear, though, coming out of Destin about poolside chats and
It was phenomenal. I will never forget
having a drink at the bar with a coach, and this is what he told me.
I'll never forget Bruce Pearl being there at one of his first ones, and he was like in the pool, like swimming laps, like working out, like swimming laps in the big pool. Where families are out there, just chilling out with.
So the incredible bulk stays chiseled. I have never,
imagine that,
ever, ever swam for exercise.
really?
No.
It's fantastic exercise.
No, I swim to get from point A to point B and to keep from drowning.
You should try it sometime. It's very good exercise.
Oh, I hear it's great.
Then you eat a feast afterwards because
Yeah.
you get so hungry.
Burn all those calories.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Is that why you shave your legs?
Well, that's for my bicycle.
Oh.
He's a calf model.
I did have a friend
He's
that
a calf model.
I did have a friend in college that he was really into riding bikes and he would shave his legs, and we made a lot of fun of him for that.
Is that for?
It makes you more aerodynamic.
Was he competing against himself?
Against himself, Landrum.
Aren't we all?
He was trying to better himself.
Aren't we all?
All right,
Go
Scott
home and
Hamilton
shave a leg.
is going to join us next here on Three Man Front. It is 11:34 on this Reaction Monday. Welcome back in on a cold, blistering. Woo, it's cold. Here on top of Red Mountain. Low 20s.
You have a go-to food when it's really cold outside? Is it soup?
I like spaghetti.
Yeah, spaghetti's good.
Yeah, I like that. Let's go up to the Carolinas.
You can eat on it for multiple days.
Yes. They're kind of digging out of some stuff, the same crap that we've been going through down here in the Deep South. Joining us, Scott Hamilton, longtime columnist there in the Carolinas, talk show host. You can hear him in Charlotte. You can hear him in Charleston. You can hear him all over the Carolinas. Scott joins us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Hey, Scott, I know you're traveling now to Charlotte. How's the weather? How's the trek from South Carolina to North Carolina?
It's not bad. It's not bad. Now, I am in Charlotte. There is snow on the road, like not on the road, but like on the sides of the roads where they've cleared the roads. It's about 40 degrees. So the worst of it's gone, but the cold, it's supposed to get bitter cold the middle of this week, and they can keep it. I'll go to Miami. I'm getting the heck out, man. I can't take that cold.
Well, I mean, you live on the Atlantic seaboard. I mean, you got that big ranch there right off the coast in South Carolina. You got that bird sanctuary that we hear every time you do an interview.
Yeah, how are the birds? Where are the birds? They okay?
The birds, okay, funny story. I fed the birds yesterday, and it was raining and it was cold, and I had bird feeders out on my back deck. They had Thanksgiving, man, and it's like the word got out to the other birds. So it was like Audubon Society out there. It was crazy.
Audubon Society. I had the book. We had to do it for a school project. Yeah. Go and look at the book.
I have a book by my window, and I can identify like, oh, well, that's a blue jay. Oh, well, that's a titmouse. I'm down with it, brother. That's a mourning dove. We don't like those, though. Mourning doves aren't cool.
Oh, did not know that.
Mourning doves.
Yeah.
Is that a bad omen?
Woodpeckers are bullies. They come in and try to bully them, but the blue jay will come in and check it and make sure that it respects the other birds when they're feeding. It's a whole deal, man. I'll sit there like in the morning and like it'll be like Judge Judy or something will be on, and I'll be watching the birds and Judge Judy and having my coffee, and it's cool.
See, we educate here on Three Man Front. It's not just football all the time. We also get into the world of wildlife. All right, let's talk about Dabo Swinney. So this story starts breaking that Fernelli ends up, or whatever his name is, ends up at Ole Miss from Clemson. He had a cup of coffee at Clemson. Now he's at Ole Miss. And then all of a sudden, Dabo Swinney decides he's going to go nuclear code on Ole Miss and Pete Golding. And I will give him credit. This is pretty cool. And I don't even know if you know this, Scott. But, like, the bio is still on the Clemson website for this player. And when you go and click on his bio, there is a link to his timeline while he was at Clemson, and it's a link to the press conference of Dabo Swinney detailing everything that took place. So just your thoughts on what you witnessed, because you've covered Dabo for a long time.
I'm shocked, first of all, by it. Not shocked that it happened, tampering and all that. That doesn't surprise me a bit. But we haven't seen anything like this since we had Saban and Jimbo and Saban. But this was next level because Dabo actually had receipts. And he had no choice. He had to call him out. He had to, because Dabo's been the one who has screamed the loudest about the system. He's the one that's played himself to be the victim of the system. And he's the one who's been the most adamant that he's not going to abide by the system and go with the system. And to have something like this blatantly happen, if he didn't speak out and name names, it would have been the equivalent of being professionally castrated. That's how I will put it. And it was compelling theater, brother. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it was. And it does seem like, and we've been talking about it for some time, and my theory was, and I know other people have this theory, that, Scott, the more of these kinds of stories, a person like Dabo Swinney, who has been outspoken against the transfer portal and NIL, to translate to college football fans, because you hear it all the time. We hear it from coaches all the time, and it's absurd, and we're kind of used to it. But I think the average college football fan, they know it's messed up, but hearing this kind of stuff, and especially not only college football fans, but influential people at a national level, maybe more of these stories need to get out so we get some kind of correction.
Yeah, every coach in America that honest to goodness legitimately has a beef with things needs to rally around Dabo right now. That's no joke. And we have gotten tone deaf to it because usually it's a no-name character. It's a Connor Stallions.
Yeah.
Some guy we don't know who Connor Stallions is. This is the head coach of a Power 4 school. Not even a head coach of a Power 4 school. The head coach of a Power 4 school that just went to the college football playoff and was painted as the darling and spunky underdogs of that playoff because of how slimy the previous coach left. And now to have this happen? Here's my question. Actually, I have two questions. Two. One, what is Keith Carter going to do, the athletic director? I gave Keith Carter so much credit for how he handled the Lane Kiffin deal. I did. He showed who was in charge of the athletic department. He didn't allow himself to be bullied or extorted or however you want to frame it by Lane Kiffin. And I thought that was a seminal moment for Ole Miss athletics, specifically football. And I thought that would keep that program elevated because they had good leadership. How does he handle this now? If he lets this pass, all the equity he got from the Lane Kiffin the fiasco is gone. It's out the window. And here's my second question, and we haven't really touched on this yet. Pirelli basically tried to leverage Ole Miss contacting him to get a better deal. That's what happened. He's like, hey, Ole Miss has contacted me, blah, blah, blah. I'll give you the text messages and the emails and whatnot, yada, yada, yada. Okay. And he still goes to Ole Miss. He threw Ole Miss under the bus for Clemson trying to get a better deal and then still went to Ole Miss. How is he going to be respected in that locker room? How is he going to be respected by those coaches? Nobody's talked about that yet. I don't want this guy on my team. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good angle. I'll get the first part of your question in regards to Keith Carter. I think Keith Carter was trying to hold that football team together because they knew that they had a legitimate shot of making the national championship game. So I think he kind of swallowed his tongue, so to speak, on a lot of stuff. And I think that's why I'm not saying that Keith Carter wouldn't have taken the high road, but I think in the middle of the season, that was the route that he chose to take. I think now, because the way things are in college athletics, I mean, it's a free-for-all. And if you do not look the other way and allow the free-for-all to happen, then you're going to find yourself looking for another coach, and your program is going to be in disarray. I understand where you're coming from. I just feel like that situation with Keith Carter, he did the best he could in the middle of the season because they were trying to get to the national championship game, and they almost did it. And they almost did it.
I agree 100%. But this is a coach who's been on the job for a month, blatantly breaking the rules. And he did break a rule because Pirelli was not in the portal. He had more than a cup of coffee at Clemson. He had lunch, literally. He had lunch, going to class, had student email, signed the scholarship papers. This is blatant cheating. And if he does not do something, if he sanctions this somehow and says, okay, we're going to let it pass, I don't see how he has any bit of credibility. And I don't see how any coach in America is not going to use that against other recruits. You want to go to Ole Miss? Well, here's how they treat each other. Here's how shady they are. That's not happening here. It's just an awful situation all the way around. And Keith Carter has to do something.
And I agree with what you just said, but are we at a point now where these players, because I hesitate to call them student athletes, I know some are there for an education, but do you think these players are kind of numb to it now? I think they are. I don't think trust or wins or championships matters to a lot of these guys. I think they look at it as a 5-6 month contract and make as much as I can as quick as I can. What are your thoughts?
I agree and I disagree. I agree to the fact that, yeah, you're right. They're all mercenaries. They're absolutely mercenaries. But anything can be weaponized by the opposition. Anything. And if they're going to turn on you, or if they're going to go out and get this guy through nefarious means,
sure,
who's to say they're not going to go out and get a guy to replace you through the same nefarious means?
Good point.
Scott Hamilton, longtime columnist, also talk show host there in the Carolinas, joining us for a few more minutes here on Three Man Front. So I got to ask you, what is the latest that you're hearing, because you're extremely connected there in North Carolina, in regards to the Darian Mensah case, in regards to him trying to get out of his deal at Duke, trying to find himself down at Miami. There's a TRO not allowing him to enroll at any school right now. Duke's not releasing him from that. Where do you think this ends up? Will he be next year's quarterback for Miami?
Oh, I think so, but I think there's going to be a financial penalty of some sort. I do. I think we can actually see him having to pay restitution to Duke University. And, good on Duke for standing its ground on this and not being run roughshod over. And good on Manny Diaz, who I have to think this is a little personal, more than a little personal for him, given his connection at Miami. But really, what does it matter? I mean, if a financial restitution is it, Miami says, okay, well, we'll give you the money to pay it. God bless. It doesn't matter anymore. Oh, by the way, did you guys see Arthur Smith is going to be the OC at Ohio State?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Did you know who his family is, right?
Oh, yeah. FedEx.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I know. I just shook my head with that.
Is that the jersey patch next season?
Possibly.
You know what? You beat me to it. And the rich getting richer, man. I mean, where did Jeff Bezos go to school?
You know what?
Maryland?
That's it's a good question. I know he was born in New Mexico. I'm not sure he went to school.
Princeton.
Oh, there you go.
If you've never heard of
Princeton be the
Princeton,
next
it's in
Indiana?
New Jersey, and they're a highfalutin school.
Is that the wait? Is that
Highfalutin.
like the extension center for the New Jersey Institute of Technology?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's where you go when you flunked out of Rutgers.
Yes. Yes. They had a good basketball program for a while back in the day. Yeah, they ran a particular offense that was really tough for teams to adjust to.
All right. So what's the big topic there in Charlotte today? Like, what are you going to get into this afternoon?
You know what? Probably college basketball. Honestly, I mean, of course, we got the Bediako stuff, and I'm sure you guys have covered that up, down, all around. And
Why do you have a
curious.
problem with Bediako playing?
I don't. He's flexing the rules. The rules are the rules, and until they change it, God bless. My problem is this: the major rule is you can be a pro so long as you didn't earn more than your expenses. Well, that's kind of subjective, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So why does it matter if you go to the NBA or if you? And here's the next thing: it's going to happen to football. It's going to. There's no G League per se for football. I don't think. I mean, that spring league kind of is, but how do we know that we're going to see some guy in the Arena League or Canada go back to school? Or what about some guy on the practice squad? Bill Belichick decides he wants to. He needs a quarterback. His quarterback got injured, so he's going to go see who's on the Panthers practice squad that week so he can quickly come up.
The only question I have,
that's what-
yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, go
Sorry,
ahead.
we're short on time.
No, it's just where we are. It's where we are. Nothing is off the table. And I say shoot your shot, man. Go see if, Patrick Mahomes has eligibility or something. Just shoot your shot.
That is Scott Hamilton, great friend of the program. Should be a rip-roaring good time in Charlotte later this afternoon.
We just need Will Wade back in the conference
Yes.
to make it a well-rounded conference again, to add to this circus.
And to Will Wade's credit, I don't think it's a coincidence that the ACC is better this year now that he's arrived. That whole influx of new coaches has really helped that conference get itself together. Still not great, but it's probably just behind the SEC.
No doubt. All right, listen, have a great show. Always appreciate your time. We will continue to watch Dabo and the fun and frivolity that is Clemson football, and we'll talk to you soon. Happy New Year, Scott.
Happy New Year. See y'all.
Thank you so much. Scott Hamilton joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services. Next hour, we'll go down to the plains of Auburn. We'll talk a little Auburn basketball with Mike Gittens and get his feelings on how the transfer portal has treated Alex Golish and the football program. All that straight ahead on Jocks.
11:52. Scott Hamilton. Always a fun visit with Scott. Nick Kelly in the 10 o'clock hour. Any portion of the show you miss, you can always find it there at jocksfm.com and the 3-Man Front podcast. Of course, with the weather we had not only here in the state, but around the country, your roof, you talk about your investment. And as a homeowner, I know that a roof is very, very important. It's not something you're thinking about. It's actually something that I think we all take for granted at times to time until we get an event like we had with the weather event over the last 3 days. And then you've got problems, whether it was damage from the storm or whether it was a deteriorating roof that probably needed replacing, but now the problem's been magnified. Great local, owned and operated company. I know these guys personally, and I will recommend them. It's Sammy and Matt, No-Toe Roofing, wonderful, wonderful people, born and raised right here in Birmingham, Alabama, but they service much of the state of Alabama. They got professionals like Chris who will come to your home. He's been in the roofing business almost 3 decades. Very honest. He's going to let you know what he finds, and he's not going to try to sell you a roof that you don't need. Ventilation inspections, all the fine details of things that they're looking for to make sure, number one, that they do it right, but number two, that your roof, other aspects of stuff that they're not responsible for, is functioning properly. Otherwise, what they do, it doesn't matter. It's No-Toe Roofing, great company. Get your free estimate today. They offer warranties on all the work they do. They're going to work alongside any insurance company or claims that you have. They're going to help you through that process as well. NOTO roofing.com. That's No-Toe Roofing, NOTO roofing.com, 205-848-2299. Always tell the No-Toes that Landrum from Jocks sent you.
So a programming note, tomorrow we'll be live at Social Taco. One of our featured guests tomorrow will be Stephen Pearl, the head basketball coach of the Auburn Tigers. He will join the show at 10:30 tomorrow. We'll talk to him about his impressive win as the Auburn Tigers took out the Florida Gators over the weekend. First time since 1996. It was a 15-game losing streak that Auburn had down in Gainesville, and they took care of business 76-67. It did get a little dicey. Auburn had an 18-point second-half lead. Florida roared back, and 7:51 left to go in the game. The game was tied, but Auburn was able to take care of business towards the back end of the game. So they're now 13-7, 4-3 in the SEC.
You know, it's easier said than done, but you go out and you pester those Florida shooters. Don't give them easy looks. Make life difficult. 7 of 27 from outside for Florida. And Auburn doing a good job of pounding it in the paint. Only took 15 threes. Only made 5, but when you out-rebound, played good defense. Second game in a row. Maybe they can keep that momentum going Wednesday against Texas.
Yeah, the defense was big. They held Florida 2 of 14 to end the game shooting. That'll win a lot of games when you hold them to that percentage.
Yes, it will.
12 noon hours straight ahead.